Yep, and we're recording. How you doing? You can say your name if you want to.
Good. Um, my name is Paul Nicholson, and I picked quote 5, which is too little, late, and just time. And the second part of it is occasion enough. So what comes to mind about time is this whole kind of life in general. And when I say that, the only thing you get when you're born is time. You're not guaranteed anything else. No money, no love, no nothing. Just time. And you never know how much time you have. So the one thing I have to say is that I learned the concept of time early because both of my parents were deceased by the time I was 16. And looking at their lives, both of them died very early. And I realized at 16 that time is so important because you just don't know how much you have. So you have to really use it wisely. So even though through my late teens, I matured a lot faster than my peers because I had to kind of be an adult at 16. And so a lot of the nonsense that they were doing, I wasn't doing because I was preparing for my life. And in that, emotionally and physically, I was putting the wheels in place for me to go and to be whatever I wanted to be. And I had to know at that point what I wanted to do, or what I felt that I wanted to do, or what I felt that I wanted to be. And that I had to just be on the path to do it. Because while other people had their parents to push them, I did not. I'm not saying that I didn't have guidance around me because my grandparents were still alive, but I didn't live with them. So what I had to learn was that time was extremely important. And in the quote of too little, late, and just, what I get from that is one of the things I had to learn was even though I went through my childhood with, I would say, kind of deficiencies, because every kid is teased, whether you're fat, whether you're light, whether you're dark, it doesn't matter. What I had to learn along the way was that whoever I am at the minute, however much I weigh, however I am, however light or dark I am enough. And that's enough for me, that I know that spiritually and emotionally, I don't need anything else. I have to be happy with who I am at that particular moment. And that is enough. So, yes, I went through the point of feeling inadequate at times, too fat, too this or too that. But I also had to learn that that's okay, because life will go on and you still are enough. Wherever you are in your development, you are enough at that time. If you need to change things, then you change them, but you're still enough. And that is what is really important to me. So the second part of the quote is occasion enough. And that comes to mind because whatever it is that you do, or if you go for a job interview and they tell you no, if you go for an interview for something, a housing, and they tell you no, you don't let one person's no stop you. You have to persevere. And in persevering is when you will find the path that you are supposed to be on. And that will be occasion enough for you. Because while it may not come in the package you expect it to, it will come to you. Because whatever in this life is meant for you will come to you. You just must be patient and persevere. And that's what I really get from these quotes, whether it be spiritually, emotionally, mentally, or physically. You have to be as comfortable with yourself being who you are, and that's occasion enough.
I appreciate that. And what I think I'm hearing, because I'm very used to, since doing these, helping the interviewee get closer to defining, let's say, spirituality, something that is somewhat difficult because it's not tangible, it's not physical. And if I'm correct, you started off with the activity of keeping your spirit up.
Right.
You didn't say what your spirit looks like, but it's something that you worked on to keep up so that you can find ways, more ways and more ways and more ways to accept yourself, specifically, or more pointedly, your weight and your sexuality.
And who I am. Whoever I am.
Right, and who you are.
Because I was teased as a kid being light-skinned. The dark-skinned kids were teased. It was like nobody skips childhood not being teased for whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
But those battle scars should go away quickly, because what you have to learn along the way is you are good as you are, whoever you are and whatever you are. And in terms of spiritually, I have to say that I've always questioned it, because I just thought
it in general or yours?
It in general and mine. Because what I have to say is that I wasn't always a very strong believer in the concept of a higher power, because I just felt that there was so much misery on earth that why would a higher power let that be? But what I've come to realize getting older is that that's not what spiritually is about. That's more of what man is doing to one another. And the spirit, to me, is part of you. And in being part of you, if you live your life to be as true to being as good a person as you can, that's what I think spirituality is more based on. I mean, not really necessarily a church and going to hear a sermon or whatever, but it's what you are after the sermon and who you are after the sermon. What do you do after that sermon? How do you live out here with other people? Are you like a monster with other people? Or are you that person who just kind of moves around and kind of interfaces with people, and you're good in your heart? And that's what I think really a lot of spirituality is. It's what's here, not in a church building.
Am I correct to say that your spirituality connected to that mental exercise of learning to appreciate you?
I think it's all interconnected.
Oh, it definitely is. But those two, did they if I'm getting this right, did they build your emotional stability?
They did build my emotional stability. They did build my mental stability too, because I think that the stronger you get as a person, the more the mental and emotional are stabilized. And I think that a lot goes through everyone's lives. We all have our ups and downs. And it's how you really kind of deal with that emotionally and mentally that really kind of balances you out. Because when you're not balanced in those two aspects, you're going to fly off the rails. And I think what's important is that it all has to be a unique balance. And in learning the unique balance, you figure out who you are. Because none of the spiritual, emotional, mental, and physical come together without a huge balance among all four of them. And when it's kind of balanced, and I'm not saying that I'm balanced all the time, because yes, I can fly off the rails when something happens too. But you have to kind of sit down and be centered and bring it back and look at it as, okay, how am I going to deal with this problem? How am I going to deal with this issue? What am I going to do? How am I going to get past this? Or am I going to get past this? Or when am I going to get past this? But I think life's lessons teach you how to deal with this. The older you get, the more you kind of figure out who you are. Because I think in your 20s and so on, you're searching for who you are. I don't think that everyone knows that right away, but you come to learn that. Because the cues that people give you or the stuff that's sent your way, you learn how to deal with it and you learn who you are. And you learn what's really important to you. Because what's not important to you, you kind of just discard and keep it moving. And that's what I've learned. The stuff that doesn't matter, it won't matter to me at 20, it won't matter to me at 50, it won't matter to me forever.
Occasion enough?
Yeah, occasion enough. It will not matter to me. If it didn't before, it probably won't now. And the stuff that's really important to me, I get it done. Whatever it is. Whether it's school, whether it's work, whatever it is, I get it done. If I want to go to IKEA, and my spirit is saying go to IKEA, I go. I go.
Thank you very much. We are done. I'll make sure that you get this. You please text me your email. It's going to be very little editing because I just want to take this last part of it, out of it and leave everything else. Thank you, Paul.
You're welcome.
All right.
Okay. That's all?
Yeah.
Was that good?
Wait. Paul was fucking excellent. Hey, just to...
Now,